Good afternoon. It is Friday, February 14th, and welcome back to The Pulse. I'm Katie Lee.
And I'm Sam Mashinsky. We are here in downtown Manchester for this special edition of The Pulse.
This week, Sam Hedlund explores the history and sustained success of the Hosmer Mountain Soda Shack.
He's basically a genius chemist.
Later, Flyby Sports heads to the court to take on two MHS basketball stars.
We have all that and so much more in this week's program. Stay tuned because you're watching The Pulse.
TV studio, The Pulse starts now.
Our town is no stranger to hidden gems, whether it be down here on Main Street or all the way on Spencer Street. Sam Hedlund details the inner workings of the Hosmer Mountain Soda Shack that has kept customers coming back since 1912.
This small shack on the west side of Manchester might not seem like much. However, it is home to some of the finest homemade soda in Connecticut. Hosmer Mountain tries to keep their originality with their glass bottles and their unique taste. They've kept some old traditions that made them successful as a retro soda shop.
First and foremost, our sodas are bottled in glass, which helps preserve both the carbonation and the flavor. They're made in small batches, handcrafted, so there's a quality issue. It's a much better product than mass production.
Hosmer's success is also dictated by its distinct and delicious flavors, crafted by their owner, Bill Potvin.
Most little bottlers, we work hard and we make soda based on the directions that are on the extract jug, and I go a step beyond that.
So he knows how to perfect it, he knows what mixes well together and what ingredients work and what don't, and it's amazing. He's basically a genius chemist.
I've always tried to make every single flavor that we make, and we have a lot of flavors, equal to or better than anything you can get.
Their company recently received recognition from Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy in a letter for their hard work and dedication. From The Pulse, this has been Sam Hedlund reporting.
Flourishing local businesses are the backbone of our town, and the soda is spectacular, of course.
Hosmer's popularity is no mystery, but at MHS, students are leaving the basketball games with questions on their mind. Who is the man behind the mask? Justin Keller helps us find out.
With the new addition of the MHS mascot, many students aren't quite sure who's the mystery man behind the mask. I went undercover to the fan section to see their thoughts on the new MHS icon.
I think that the hawk is maybe Miss Young.
Jack Keller.
Alec Byros.
It could be a staff member or maybe the principal or someone. Not really sure.
100% Miss Minor. Love you, Miss Minor. I think it's Catherine Minor. I don't know.
I think it's Sam Mashinsky. Miss Doherty. I'm thinking Miss Satin.
Abdul-Jabbar.
Clearly, the fan zone could not come to a complete consensus. So with no further options, we decide to ask the mascot himself. Who is behind the mascot? So, why do you keep your identity sealed?
Well, my identity isn't really sealed. I am the Red Hawk. Look, it doesn't come off. I am the Red Hawk. There's no identity. You can see me right here. I don't know what else to tell you.
When confronting the Red Hawk with certain questions, he became very defensive. So word around the street is that last night's game, your head did indeed come off. What do you have to say about that?
That's it. I'm done with this interview. I'm not doing it no more. I'm sorry.
Is it on? All right. I am so sorry that you had to witness that. If you have any information at all on who is behind the mascot, please contact Mr. Larson at b11elars@mpspride.org. I'm Justin Keller. Thank you for watching.
I guess this is going to remain a mystery at MHS. Hopefully the legend of the mascot continues to grow.
Recently, the mascot hasn't been the only mystery at MHS. Many students are wondering why Superintendent Matt Geary and our very own principal, Mrs. Minor, are teaching classes. Gliza Fuentes heads to the classroom to deliver the answers.
Papers, pencils, and calculators are ordinary objects you'd find in a math classroom, but there's something not so ordinary about these classes. The same man that makes the call for our snow days, our superintendent, has added yet another task to his job.
Not quite 10 years probably, but maybe almost 10 years since I last taught a math class. So I think it's like an adjustment in schedule, but in terms of teaching the math, I mean, there's some technology that wasn't around 10 years ago that, we're using now, so I had to learn that. But overall, I mean, it's been a really good experience and not too bad to adapt.
Just say that's 1, we're going to go 1/2, and it goes up 2 1/4.
It's been sort of 6 years since I was the principal here, but I think, very similar. Students really positive, very welcoming, whether it's in class or hallways or wherever. So I think, overall, for me, the environment here has always been really positive, since I got here. And I think, it's the same, which is what I expected in class and what we have.
Not only is the face of our education teaching a class here, so is our very own principal.
You're just looking for, is there a positive or negative sign there? To flip it over.
Honestly, it's been really fun. I love Algebra 2. I think probably the biggest adjustment for me was the length of the period. I found myself over-planning the first few days. I thought, and I don't think I've taught in a 51-minute period in a long time, so that was probably the adjustment, but that took me a week or so, and now it's been great. It's a great class, and it's good stuff, so it's fun.
Although this has been a big adjustment for Mr. Geary and Mrs. Miner, this has caused a positive impact on students in the classroom. From the Pulse, this has been Gliza Fuentes reporting.
An unfortunate situation has turned into a blessing for a few lucky classes.
The unexpected is becoming the norm at MHS, whether it be administration teaching classes or girls on the boys swim team. Ty Leggett heads to the pool to catch up with the members of the MHS swim team, who are certainly making a splash.
When you hear boys swimming team, you would expect all of its members to be male. So it may come as a surprise when fans hear the names Maggie, Mia, Bella, Madison, and Allison. At MHS and other schools, girls are allowed to play on the boys swim team if they play a fall sport. Whether this option is helpful, we ask one of the girls, Mia.
I don't think it's awkward being on the boys team. I'm already friends with a lot of the guys, so it just felt like we were on a team together instead of just regularly hanging out.
One issue that may arise when in a sports team of the opposite gender is that it can become uncomfortable or lonely. Fortunately, this isn't the case.
Having the other girls on the team definitely alleviates some of the stress. We can always just go into the locker room together and talk about stuff, but it's basically the same with or without them, but it's nice.
It sounds unconventional for girls to be on a boys swim team. However, the girls have made their experience in the boys swimming team interesting. From the Pulse, this has been Ty Leggett reporting.
Sports truly have the power to bring all sorts of people together.
And we see the power of sports again on this week's edition of Fly By Sports, as Maz and Tyler take on 2 senior leaders of the Red Hawks boys basketball team.
I'm like Chipos, man. I got this, yeah.
Welcome to this special edition of Fly By Sports. I'm Tyler Roya. And I'm Anthony Rosado. We got a great episode planned for you. Me and Tyler are going to play 2-on-2 against Stars' basketball team, Day and Eric. We're going to play up to 11, 2s and 1s. We get ball first. We'll do winners or losers. First. Winners or losers. Winners or losers. Winners. Yeah, we're winners. Winners. And we got first man back, all right? Huge shout out for Day Day and Eric come down, taking on us too. We're a little rusty from our 8th grade basketball days. Final score was 11-6. All right, that's it for Flyby Sports. It's been Tyler Roya and Imazada. See you next guys soon.
I hear there's already talks of a rematch. Hopefully Maz and Tyler make it respectable next time.
To capture moments like Maz and Tyler getting completely obliterated takes a special group of people. The yearbook class is tasked with that exact responsibility. Cameron Darcy details the work ethic that goes into producing a year's worth of memories.
212 pages designed from scratch. Hundreds of pictures taken by photographers capturing 19 sports teams, over 18 clubs, and countless school events. Sponsors and advertisements tracked down and put together. The yearbook class works hard to document the 2019-2020 school year and produce a publication called Somanis. In order to create the yearbook, students like Sahar Sial have the opportunity to take yearbook as a class rather than extracurricular activity.
After school clubs sometimes don't always work out, and since it's the yearbook, it's something important, so actually going to class and having like almost an hour to do everything just works out.
After Ms. Sumner resigned in October of 2019, English teacher Mr. O'Reilly, despite having no experience with yearbook, stepped in to teach the class.
A tech ed teacher resigned, and so they needed somebody, so a combination of things. I enjoy a challenge. And I knew this was going to be a particular challenge. It needed to fit into my schedule, and I did not at the time have a period 5 class.
Unfortunately, regular yearbook sales have closed, but if students have not purchased their yearbooks yet, there will be a first-come, first-served sale towards the end of the year. Mr. O'Reilly and the yearbook staff will continue to work hard to create a yearbook that showcases new beginnings at Manchester High School. It will be a special edition you won't want to miss. From The Pulse, this has been Cameron Darcy reporting.
This year's edition is sure to be one that you don't want to miss out on.
Well, that's all we have for you this week, Manchester. Tune in next week as Lena Moraski uncovers MCC's new initiative that is providing students with affordable education. And JT Weeks highlights the hard work that goes into passing out candygrams.
If you have any story ideas we might have missed, you can email Mr. Larson at b11elars@mpspride.org.
And don't forget to follow us on social media and check out our past work by heading to the mhstelevision.com. I'm Katie Lee.
And I'm Sam Mashinsky. And this has been The Pulse. Yay!